What's up everyone, Jackson here, main man Russell behind the camera. We're doing predictions for UFC on Fox 20, HOLM versus SHEVCHENKO. Now first off, let's get this, elephant in the room? Brock Lesnar, we all knew it was going to happen. 2 negative tests, UFC just fucked themselves for 200. Awful buy numbers, let's face it, Conor should have ran that card. Alright, we're going to get into the details, the nitty gritty. We've got Felice Herrig versus Kylan Curran. I really don't know how I feel about this fight, to be honest. They're both pretty middle of the pack strawweights. It's not a very deep division anyways. Felice is coming off about a 1.5 year long layoff, a little bit more. She lost to Paige Van Zandt last time she fought. It was a pretty brutal beatdown. Wasn't very exciting to watch for her. Paige looked great, as always. Kylan Curran, she's coming off a submission win. She was actually 0-2 in the UFC when she started. She got submitted twice. Didn't look very good. She's really young though. I do feel like Curran is going to win this fight. She is going to probably take it into the second round. Felice has been a year since I said what I said. Ring rust will be a definite issue on this one. She's probably going to get peppered with some strikes early on. Pretty boring in the first round, if you ask me. Take her down a few times. Felice won't have much for her. I mean, she's 10-6. A lot of her wins are decision. A few submissions. She was also in that awful game, Supremacy MMA. I don't know if you played it. I did. It was fucking terrible. I do think Curran will hurt her on the feet pretty early in the second round, take her to the ground, submit her rear naked choke, pretty easy. And just like that, that one's done. Next up, oh God, I'm gonna fucking butcher this one. We've got Francis Ngannou. It's Ngannou, I think, I don't know. And we've got Bojan Mahajalovic fucking lick. Ngannou, huge dude. 7-1, fucking monster. He looks like HOLM kind of. I mean, he's from Paris, they're both from Paris. I could say a lot more, but it'd probably be fucked up. He is 2-0 in the UFC, 2 knockouts. Actually, the last one was a doctor stoppage, pretty brutal. The guy's face was just all over the place. Looked like Picasso took a shit on a canvas on his face. He's got, let's see here, 4 wins by KO, 3 by submission. They're pretty even, so we know he can finish it anywhere. He did get taken down a lot his last fight, but he did get up pretty easily, didn't gas at all, looked really good. Let's see, he's fighting Mahajalovic, 10-3. He's fighting out of Serbia. The dude's really short for heavyweight, he's 5'11". I don't know why the fuck he's fighting there. He'll probably move to light heavyweight after this if he stays in the UFC. He is a hard hitter, but when you're that short and you give up that much reach and height, you're just kind of screwing yourself from the get-go, unless you're Daniel Cormier, who's just a freak of nature. I do think this will be over, probably the quickest fight of the night. First round knockout for Francis Ngannou. It's gonna be pretty brutal, really quick. I expect an uppercut. I do think Francis is the next guy to watch in the heavyweight division. It is really shallow. We had Brock come back and then PED tests all over the board. USADA. But yeah, fighter to watch alert. Fighter to watch alert! Francis Ngannou is gonna win first round knockout. So Francis Ngannou, all of his fights have been ended in a submission or a knockout. That's why he's my fighter to watch. He's a hard hitter. He's what this heavyweight division needs if he rises to that occasion. Like I said, really shallow division. Anybody could be a star in that, except for Roy Nelson, because he's just kind of middle of the pack at this point. Personally, this is my favorite fight of the night. It's gonna be Edson Barboza versus Gilbert, if you're a Day One Reebok fan, Gilbert Melendez. I think it's gonna be fight of the night. Fuck. Edson Barboza, am I right? He beat Anthony Pettis, who hasn't looked good his last few fights. He's lost some pretty lackluster decisions. Got the shit beat out of him by Dos Anjos, who actually just lost to Alvarez, who just beat Pettis. So it's a fucking whirlwind of shit.
Listen, Bubs, hear that? The sounds of the whispering winds of shit.
I do think this is going to be a really close fight, all 3 rounds. I don't think anyone's going to be a really clear winner. It's up to the judges, which Dana White says never leave it in the hands of the judges. How about that Republican convention interview he had? Really awkward, shouting at everyone. Super cringeworthy. I mean, Edson Barboza, he's got those nasty leg kicks. He just...
What the fuck are you talking about?
All right. Edson Barboza, he's got those nasty leg kicks. I think that's what's gonna be the key to success in this fight. I mean, he uses it in almost every fight. I don't think he's used them too much the last fights. He did use them quite a bit against Pettis, if you saw that bruise. I do think it's gonna be a pretty lackluster first round. It's gonna be back and forth because they're gonna feel each other out. They're really awkward. Gilbert is a more inside fighter. He's a little bit shorter reach. So he wants to get inside, he wants to hit you pretty close. He's also got a good wrestling background. Edson, not so much. He's obviously a striker. Muay Thai is his game. I do think Edson does have the jiu-jitsu advantage, even though he's a purple belt compared to Gilbert's black belt. Doesn't make sense, but never seen Gilbert really use that at all in any fights. He just takes guys down and pounds them out. I do think Gilbert could take him down a couple times. It's not likely. What are you laughing about?
Takes him down and pounds him out.
I do think Gilbert could land a few takedowns in this fight. I don't think it will stay there very long. I do expect it to be back and forth on the feet. Nobody looking like a clear winner, but Edson's gonna land the clear shots. Let's not forget, Gilbert is also coming off a year-long suspension. He tested positive for some sort of steroid. Seems like everyone's just popping lately, and you'd think with the new guidelines, they would stop taking them, but apparently it's more incentive to take them. I do think this is gonna be a 3-round fight, split decision for Barboza. I do think he could possibly get a step up in competition next. I don't know who really to fight. He doesn't want to fight Alvarez. They're teammates. Alvarez has the belt. I don't know what's next for him after this, but I do believe he will win a split decision. All right, next up, we've got the main event. HOLM versus SHEVCHENKO. Fuck. This could be a barn burner, or it could just be boring. Boring as shit. I actually read Jack Slack's article today, and could be a snooze fest. I don't know. We've got a Muay Thai fighter, and we've got a boxer in HOLM. Holly is coming off that loss from Miesha Tate. She was winning that fight all along. We went over this in the last video about Miesha. She was winning that. She's more of a counter fighter. So if you pressure her, you're gonna get your ass kicked. That's what happened to Ronda. She bull rushed and got the shit kicked out of her, that weird lip looking thing and the awful coaching from Edmund. Anyways, SHEVCHENKO is coming off a loss to current champ Amanda Nunes, who beat Miesha Tate. She looked pretty good in that fight. It was close, but not too close. She lost a decision, but she did take Nunes down, so she does definitely have that unknown factor about her. I do think Holly will win this fight. Again, it's gonna go all 5 rounds. I don't think anybody's gonna finish. It could happen, but these two are likely to offset each other. There might not be a lot of takedowns or attempts at this, but when you get 2 strikers, everyone becomes a wrestler all of a sudden. Do you think HOLM's gonna land a few more? They're just gonna bounce around all night, honestly. Hit each other a few pot shots, maybe land a couple power shots. They're not gonna look too good. I do think Holly wins a unanimous decision, all 5 rounds. She will likely get the next title shot, but I also feel SHEVCHENKO's stock is gonna rise a bit after this. She's been very competitive. She looks great also in the octagon, let's be honest. All right, those are my picks. Thanks, guys.